People say I'm dreaming, but I know that I'm just dreaming. Oh, I'm streaming. Am I streaming? I think I am. Yes, I think it's working. Hello. My name's Lewis, and this is the first in a series of Blender tutorial video screencast stream things that I'm gonna do. A few of my friends have mentioned that they want to get into Blender. I've been using it for a couple of years. It's a brilliant piece of software. It drives me up the wall, but it is amazing. I can't really complain because it's free, and this Blender, although it is kind of annoying at times and has quite a steep learning curve to it, it is very functional and it's capable of so many great things, this bit of software, and it even surpasses a lot of the paid software that you could spend big bucks for. So let's not moan, let's just get on with it, shall we? The first little thing I'd like to show today is something that I wish I knew right from the start, to be honest. It's something that I kind of figured out embarrassingly recently. It just made me slap myself on the forehead at how ridiculous it had been that I'd been trudging along for so long without even knowing it. So, let me explain this way. When we first open Blender, we're exposed to so many buttons and menus and things, and we can see all these tabs down the side here that change this little pane here, and then we've got these menus, and you see, and then the menus open up, expand to more menus, and then this thing expands to that, and if we go there, then these menus are changed again with more expanding menus, and then all these little icons and crazy stuff going on here. And then we come up here and we've got these little icons that change the contents of down here, and it all just seems a little overwhelming, let's say. So here's something to help you out in getting a handle on the things that Blender is displaying to you, and hopefully this should help for you basically just to feel less overwhelmed and a little bit more in control over the tools that you're using. So here's the thing I'd like to teach you. What we're exposed to at the moment is are a series of what I'm going to call panes, okay? Like window panes. That are a pain in my ass. But anyway, we have one pane at the very top here, where we've got file, render, window, and help and stuff. And then we've got this main pane, which is the 3D view. And then we've got this pane at the top right here. And then we've got this pane here. Oh, and this pane at the bottom here. So that's a lot of pane for a default layout. So how do we control these panes? Well, at the top right and at the bottom left of each of these panes, we have these three little lines, which I'm just going to refer to as tab thingies. And when we hover over the tab thingies, we get our cursor changes, basically. So, if we take a tab thingy from, say, the bottom, and we drag it up, then we've just duplicated that pane and made another 3D view, okay? And then if we take that same tab and we drag it down, you see this arrow comes up, and then when we release, bam, it's just removed the pane that we just created. So basically the rule is here that if you drag into a pane, you'll create a new pane, and if you drag out of a pane, and you kind of erase other panes. So what we have here is we've got 2 columns, and each of them have got 2 sets of panes in them. So we've got this left column here. This is what divides the columns, right? And then we've got 2 panes in this left column, and then we've got 2 panes in the right column divided here. So the next thing we want to learn about these panes is at the bottom left, mostly. Actually, there are exceptions, but at the bottom left of each of these windows, we see this little icon. It's got an up and a down arrow on it. Okay, you see one up here. You can see one over here. Okay, one down here, and that basically tells us what this pane is, right? So this pane is the 3D view, and if I clicked on something else, I could make it the UV image editor if I wanted. I could make it a text editor. How exciting! Okay, and let's just put it back to the 3D view. So we can see now that this is the outliner, and that this pane bottom right here is the properties. Okay, so I'm going to do a little exercise now, and if you're using Blender, then I'd like you to join me in doing this. It's something that I do recommend that everybody does, just for the experience of it, so that you feel like you're in control of your own work environment, which I think is very important, particularly with creative software such as Blender. So what we're going to do, this is something that I do when I want to make a new window and I want to put it in my second monitor. Okay, so what we do is we go up to window and we duplicate the window. Okay, I'm not going to click that, but you can click that if you want to, because we've got this one, and I'm happy to just show you this one. So with our duplicated window, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this bottom left pane here, just the timeline, and we're going to take that little top right hand tab thingy and drag it up. Okay, bam, and now it's just overtaken, got rid of the 3D view. Okay, then we're going to take from the outliner at the top right, going to take the bottom left tab of that tab thingy and drag it down, bang, and now we're left with 2 panes. Okay, we've got the outliner and we've got the timeline. So now we're going to drag one of these over, it doesn't matter which one, to create one window. Bang. So there it is. It's all just the outliner now. And then we're going to go to the bottom left of the outliner and go to UV image editor. And now we're left with this one window. Well, technically we're actually left with 2, because at the top here, what we see is that's actually another window in its own right. That's the information window. So let's actually get rid of that as well by dragging the UV image editor up and let go. And there we go. So here it is, the UV image editor in all its glory on its own. No distractions or anything like that. So hopefully you're here with me. Let's now try and get this window back into the configuration that it was at originally, okay? So that we can prove to ourselves that we haven't lost anything by doing this. We're in control of what's going on, and we can get stuff back to how it was. So the first thing we're going to do is bring up the file menu at the top of the information menu by dragging this top right tab thingy down. There it is. And you'll see it just like clicks there. It snaps to this kind of strip standard size. And then we go to the left and we'll change that from, so it's made another copy of the UV image editor basically, as you can see. But we're going to change that to the information, the info window. So now we've got our file render window, that's all back. Great. And then we'll take the main UV image editor and we'll drag it to the left to create a new pane there. And we'll drag up from the bottom left tab thingy of our newly created window to create 2. There they are. Oh, didn't want to do that. I wanted to do that. And we'll drag up from the bottom of our main pane. So now we've got lots of duplicates of the UV image editor, and we can select with this bottom tab what they're going to be. So this bottom one's the timeline, the main pane is the 3D view, the top right pane is going to be the outliner, and the bottom right pane is going to be the properties window. Okay, and there we are, we're back to where we started. So hopefully this exercise has just helped you feel a little bit more in control of what Blender exposes you to. One last little thing before I go. You see this column down the side here? We can drag that away and there'll be a little plus sign there. We can click it and it will come back. Okay, this is part of the 3D view, right? And you'll notice there's a little plus sign at the top right of the 3D view as well, and if we click that, we get another column of controls. And the shortcut for that right hand column is N. N for nougat and nutmeg and November. And it's always N, I believe. Yeah. I don't know the shortcut for the right one because, to be honest, I just always have it open. But if it's that important to you, then you can go find out yourself. So yeah, I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care, and happy blending.